Then, 2 years, what did you say then? Then I went looking for a job, some kind of a job. And I got into the boat factory, into the thread factory.
Thread factory?
Yeah.
In Westport?
Yes. And I left it.
And how long did you stay there for?
30 years.
30 years? Oh, that was a long time, yeah. And who owned the thread factory that time?
The Hughes.
Hughes. And who was the manager?
He was a man from England. His name was Hebron.
Okay. And was he there all the time, or when you were there?
He was,
Yeah.
except maybe a year or two. Another man came and he left. And the other man was English too.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what was your job in the thread factory?
Well, first I had to work on a machine.
And what you used to do in the thread factory?
It used to come in bales, the thread.
Yeah.
And then they would put it on the machines and it would come out exactly thread then.
Okay.
Wool, you know. Wool.
And what colour would it be?
Oh, it could be any colour.
Different colours, yeah?
Yeah.
You dye them in the factory?
Dye them in the thread, in the dye works.
In the dye works. And who worked in the thread factory with you? Who were your buddies there at that time?
Some of those.
Some of them people. Yeah?
And John Tunney.
Yeah.
And Mick Maguire. And Mick Maguire. And Mary Gavin. And Bridie Gavin.
So a good few from that picture went into work in the thread factory,
They
yeah?
did.
And that was nice. At least it wasn't strange when you went in.
No.
And how did you spend the time then when you were a teenager?
I wanted to dance.
Yeah, and where were the dances held?
The dances was in an old school in Carrie Kennedy.
In Carrie Kennedy.
Yeah.
And would there be many at the dance?
Oh, there might be 20 or 25.
Only 25.
That's all. Sometimes 30 maybe.
I'm sure that wasn't many, was it?
It wasn't.
And would there be many fellas in there?
Oh, there would be. And there would be playing melodeon.
And who was playing the melodeon? Can you remember the
They were
melodeon?
from Kilmina. Someone that was called Ryan.
Ryan's from Kilmina.
Yeah.
Were they good?
They were lovely, great.
A little band, was it? Or was it just
a
your
band.
A band, okay. Where did you meet your husband? Who did you marry?
Walter Dawson.
Walter Dawson.
Easier on the
And where was Walter from?
Cashel. I need.
Cashel, okay.
Yeah, or Al, I should say.
And what year did you get married? Do you remember?
Can't remember that now.
Okay. And did you keep working after you got married, or did you stop?
did.
You kept working after you got married. And where was Walter working?
In the boat factory.
Oh, he was in the boot factory.
He was.
And who owned the boot factory?
I think they used that something.
You used that too, yeah. They were good business people that time, weren't they? They were all local lads, weren't they? They were all
They
local
were.
companies, okay, right. And then when did you move into Westport?
I moved to 1950.
You moved into Westport,
Yeah.
1950. With Walter, or did you rent a place yourself? Did you move when you got married?
No. Rented.
You rented a place. On your own, or are you with some of the girls?
I was on my own.
You're on your own, yeah.
We lived down Church Lane, you know that first. Then I moved on to... No, I lived in Streamstown.
Streamstown.
Nice place. Then Church Lane. And then, finally, to Mill Street.
The Mill Street.
And I like Mill Street.
And what were the rents like that time?
Well, the rent was very low that time in most of them, yeah.
Can you remember how much you were paying at the time, no?
In the lane, to the one at 4 and something a week.
4 shillings a week, yeah.
Or 4 and...
And how much a week were you getting at work?
Oh, that was a good place for being out at work. It was, when I went in first, it was nearly €20 a week.
£20 a week?
Pounds.
Yeah.
And it went up then and up.
So you got well paid?
Yeah.
And you used to go to the dances in Westport?
Used the 2 halls, the town hall, and what's the cinema later. Doors.
Oh, yeah, down on James Street?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It was a cinema, yeah.
Yeah.
And who used to play at the dances that time? What bands were there? Can you remember the bands?
Well, I cannot remember the bands very much.
And how much was it to go into a dance that time?
Around 2 and 6 pence.
2 and 6 pence, yeah.
English, I mean,
The old fine.
the old
The old fine. And did you go to the pictures?
I did, I love the pictures.
And how much did it cost to go to the pictures that time?
Oh, I did it only 1 and something.
Did the factory close down or did you quit the job?
No, I quit it because I had to mind my parents.
Out at home?
Yeah.
And we
they were here.
in the town?
Yeah,
In Westport?
yeah. And my aunt was here.
Yeah.
So I had 3 of them to mind.
Oh, you had to be, you're a house full, all right, didn't you? Yeah. And did you have the 3 of them together?
Yeah.
Was that a big job?
Well, not until they got very old. And when they got very old, it was a half job.
Oh, there, yeah.
Yeah.
And did they all get very old? They did?
They did.
And were they all were there many of them, were they sick together at the same time? Would they be sick much or were they kind
Oh, my father was the first to get sick. And he was 90 when he died.
Yeah.
And then the next one was my mother. And she must be 88 or something when she died. And my aunt then, that came from America, was the last. And I think she was 80 or 84 or something.
And you minded them all the time?
My mother had to go to hospital. I couldn't mind the 3 of them. No,
So it was a tough time that time, was it?
it was.
It was.
They were bad times.
Okay. And how did you like Westport when you moved in from the country?
Well, it took 2 years to get used to it.
And
And eventually I got used to it. And I wouldn't leave it now.
you like it now, you do,
I
yeah.
do.
And is there anybody in the home place now?
Well, the Tunnies
The Tunnies,
bought it.
well, they bought it. Were they next door? Was it close to them? It was?
It was more than an hour length.
Oh, okay, right, yes. So,
Yeah.
so